Hello everybody, welcome to the Grown and Vegan YouTube channel. My name is Dieta, and on this channel I share simple and delicious vegan recipes. So if that's something that you're interested in, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I add a new video. So let's go ahead and get into this recipe. When I made this recipe, my only regret was that I didn't make enough. It was super delicious, and if you have a big appetite like me or have to cook for several people, I will let you know right now you're probably going to want to add more to the recipe, so you'll want to increase the ingredients. I started with 1 can of jackfruit that I got at Trader Joe's. I cut off some of the rind and rinsed the jackfruit really well before using it. After the jackfruit is rinsed, add it to a food processor and pulse it until it's nice and flaky. If you don't have a food processor, no problem. You could probably just use a fork to pull it apart for the same effect. It really comes apart pretty easy. Once your jackfruit is all shredded, add it to a bowl. Then you will add 1/4 cup of vegan fish sauce. This stuff is delicious. You'll want to add the 1/4 cup of vegan fish sauce and marinate your jackfruit for about 30 minutes. After the jackfruit is done marinating, you will want to squeeze out as much of the liquid as possible. I used a cheesecloth this time, but you can also use paper towel. I will say that using the cheesecloth works way better than using the paper towel. I've done it both ways, and when you use the paper towel you have to use way more than what the cheesecloth. With the cheesecloth you just use that one piece, and the good thing about it is it doesn't have any lint, so you're not getting any kind of lint into your food. So I do recommend the cheesecloth if you possibly can, but this step is super important. You want to make sure that you do your best in getting all the liquid that you can get out of it, because it helps to have the jackfruit stick together. It's going to be more like a paste once you get all the liquid out that you can. Once you've done that step, then you're going to chop 2 green onions and add to your jackfruit. You can also add some green peppers or red peppers. I actually had a red pepper on hand, but I didn't think of it until later. And once I did think of it, I just didn't really feel like chopping it up, but that's a good addition to this recipe. Then you're going to go in with your seasonings with 1 teaspoon of Old Bay, 1 teaspoon of Bragg's sea kelp seasoning, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of lemon pepper. Now the rest of these seasonings, I did not measure these. I just did a few shakes. I added some basil, some smoked paprika, oregano, and a little bit of pink salt. Then I added 1 tablespoon of vegan mayonnaise and 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard. Mix all of the ingredients together really well, and then you're going to make your coating. This will be equal parts of flour and equal parts of cornmeal. For this size of recipe, I just used 2 tablespoons each, but I had a lot left over, so really I could have just used 1 tablespoon of each. And then you just mix it up. You're going to preheat your oven at 350 right about now. And then coat the bottom of a pan. You can either use parchment paper or just use the oven spray like I did, the olive oil spray like I did. And then you're going to form your nuggets, and you can make them whatever shape you want. I kind of was going for, I guess, the tater tot looking size, oblong shape, but you can make them in a round shape or however you want. And then you're going to roll them in the coating, add them to your pan, and bake these until they're golden brown. Now I have a confession to make. I made this video a little bit earlier, and I actually forgot to write down how much time I left these in the oven. So I apologize for that, but no more than probably about 15 to 20 minutes, but just keep an eye on them and check to see when they're golden brown. I do remember that I turned them over, so I'm believing that it was probably more like 30 minutes, because after 15 minutes I turned them over. So just keep an eye on them. I'm so sorry about that, but you'll be able to fix them. They're delicious, and they were just, I ate them pretty quickly. So to go with these, I made a quick sauce just using mayonnaise and ketchup. Nothing fancy. But if you want, you can use any kind of sauce you want. With the mayonnaise and ketchup, usually what I do with that, I add some garlic powder and onion powder and a little bit of soy sauce. But I didn't do all of that this time. But you can do that if you want. You can also use brown mustard and mayonnaise. You can add a little agave to make it sweet. Whatever you desire to use for the sauce would be great. But these turned out so well. I hope that you enjoyed this recipe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.